Okay, so we have a chrysalis that has made its chrysalis. We have a caterpillar who's made its chrysalis on this leaf. Now, as you can see, this leaf is starting to dry out. The leaf could crumble and fall apart, and chrysalis is going to come to the ground, and it's going to be close where we don't want it to be close. So I've devised a few different ways to get around the problem. These are methods that other people use for rehanging as well. I'm going to try to see if I can set my camera up in a way that you can see what I'm doing. I think you might right there. So I have embroidery thread. It's very, very fine. You can get it at the craft store. And there's many layers to embroidery thread. So what I do is I get a single piece and I start my first knot just prior to going around the chrysalis. So you get yourself a little loop, you know, just makes it a little easier. Then I'm going to go to the chrysalis, and you wait until, you know, the chrysalis is a couple of days old before you do this, because they're just too soft to handle any risk prior to that. Go around the back side of the chrysalis, and what you're trying to do is go up to this black cremaster that's at the top. Can you see that? So this black cremaster at the top, and then you see the silk button. So I'm going to tie a couple of times around the black cremaster. Don't tie so tight that you're going to break the cremaster. Some people will talk about gluing the cremaster to something, and it's hypothesized that they do get air through there, so I just don't dig on doing that personally. Now, where did I have you? Where did I have you? Where you can see what I was doing. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good angle here for you. If I do that, you're going to need to be a little higher. Alright, well, hopefully you can see that. So I tie just a simple little knot. In the string. Should probably have my glasses on. Okay, can you see that? I hope. My hands are probably in the way, aren't they? So I've tied a knot. Right? So now what I'm going to do is pull it away. So I take the two ends of the string and very gently pull. Now you're pulling gently because you're getting that silk with it. See the big tuft of silk that comes off? Now what I like to do is Just lick my fingers and wet them. And then roll that silk onto your string. When it dries, it'll be nice and secure. So this is basically what you have. Now, where you place your chrysalis is up to you. I've devised this little MacGyver pool noodle system. So I have a pool noodle stuck in a roll of tape to stand up with some paper towel around it for sturdiness. And then I've got your food skewers. And then all I'm going to do is tie and wrap this to the end of a skewer. Now I stagger them so that when they're reclosing, nobody's dropping hemoglyph onto their friends. Just remember, your butterfly needs to, see what I'm doing there? Your butterfly needs to have a place to hang, to dry its wings, so you want to make sure there's enough clearance wherever you decide to hang, that they can pump up their wings and do what they've got to do in a peaceful sort of way. So after I've tied that first loop, generally what I do, just for security's sake, is I wrap it around a couple of times, and then I'll go under and around the back of the cremaster and up and around that cremaster again and over, just in several different directions, maybe a couple of times around again, just so I feel like that string is really being secured there. Up and around and over, around a couple times, because I've already tied it the once, right? I like to get my little strings out of the way when I'm done, very carefully. And there we have it. Put it through my pool noodle. And voila. Now I've got a couple of these to do today, so I'll have myself a little chrysalis tree. And this one that I have to do, it was the same situation on a leaf. Same situation on a leaf. But I did have, believe it or not, I was cleaning my tower enclosure the other day, and I go to scoop up the paper towel that's on the bottom, and lo and behold, somebody had crawled under the paper towel at the bottom of the enclosure and decided to pee it there. So strange things happen. This one I woke up this morning and it was just on the ground. So he's got a little bit of a cremaster left. He's a little bit flat because he's wet. So I am a little bit worried about this one. What I'll likely do with this one is make a nice little bed when I'm sure he's a little drier, with paper towel in there. And because this is net, all a butterfly really needs is to be able to climb up something very quickly as soon as they close. So if I keep him right in this corner there, he actually, sorry, can climb right up the edge. Now sometimes you get these little pop-up containers with your castles on Amazon, and I always make this sort of my medical tent. So if I don't want to fool around with rehanging that one, I can just leave her there and keep an eye on her when she's ready to eclose. They turn dark and you can see their wings through, so then I know to just keep my eyes on this one real close the next day. So that, my friends, is rehanging a chrysalis.